And I wish I have some mentor, so it's very important, especially um, in your young age, you have some mentor who can guide you. And our kids are very lucky, we can guide them,
Yeah.
because we have seen all those things. They have this upper hand, or they're fortunate enough. And I see a lot of people, a lot of kids, they don't know what field and how to get into it.
Welcome to the Raising the Steam podcast, hosted by M. Ross, where we're dedicated to raising the STEAM leaders of tomorrow. Discover inspiring stories, lessons learned, and actionable insights from the worlds of science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics, and medicine. Connect with us and a community of dedicated parents, educators, and STEAM supporters at raisingthesteam.com and at Raising the Steam on social media. Together, let's ignite curiosity and drive change.
Welcome to the Raising the Steam podcast. I'm your host, Tim Ross. Today, I'm with a very experienced engineer and a good friend of mine, Pasha. Pasha, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing great. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, okay, sure. So after doing my 12th grade in Pakistan, I moved to USA and went for undergrad in Wichita State University, Kansas. I did my electrical engineering over there. Then I joined DirecTV in Philadelphia, work over there several years, and after that, I joined AT&T, where I'm working for the last 25 years in different roles.
Yeah, so you've been AT&T for a while then.
Yeah, quarter of century almost.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, you mentioned you moved from Pakistan. What ways would you say moving to US shaped your professional journey?
Yes, so from Pakistan, I knew my dad was in electrical engineering field and my older brother. And then when I was eighth grade, I know I want to do electronics or electrical engineering, something like that. And that time I decided to come, USA, because that's where the best universities and best education is. So I moved over here in Wichita State University, started working on my electrical engineering. And after graduation, I did not work in electrical engineering. I went to, we're talking in 90s, where the new field was coming, telecommunication, networking. And if you remember those modems, 56K modems, I don't know if you remember those sound, very
Mm-hmm.
slow. All those things were coming. And I still remember 92 in electrical engineering, the market was not good. So it was getting hard to find that particular time job in electrical engineering. So accidentally, I find out this networking. I got a job and I got interested in this one, which is very, you know, professionally. I really loved it, and then I got into this field.
So, you mentioned your father was also an electrical engineer. Was he a big influence in why you chose to go into that area?
Yeah, I saw him working. I think this, and then my brother, oldest brother, I saw him also. So from there, I think somehow I got into. My dad was very big on education, and he was very particular on science and technology. Because that's where the jobs were in Pakistan. If you either you're in medicine or engineering, you'll find a job. Other fields were really tough. So he was very particular, we do good in math and sciences. So I think he also influenced me to make sure I'm good in sciences.
Yes. And so, you and I, we met because our wives are both doctors and work together. And you and I started chatting at one of their work events and saw that we had a lot in common, and our families started
Yes.
hanging out from there. Now our daughters are both in high school. Our younger sons are pretty close in age, and both of our daughters are actually talking about going into medicine, like our wives, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Now, you and I personally, we have a lot of discussions about parenting, but if you had to sum it up, what advice would you give parents who have kids who might be interested in medicine or some other STEAM field?
So I think, especially for medicine, in any field, first of all, you have to have a love for that field. So I will tell my kids, you need to love, and especially in medicine, which I see you need to have extra love. Otherwise, you cannot survive, because You see patients. This is very noble profession, and you have to love it. And this in this field, you have to go very long way. You go to undergrad, you have to be very good, then research, then you go to medical school, then the training. So there's a lot of dedication for the long period. So you have to love this field, And that's tell I'm a daughter, and I see her, she loves it. She wanted to do this thing. And I tell her, we need to shadow, you need to, in young age, it's very important in young age, those kids who want to go, especially science or any field, they get a chance to shadow, to find some mentors to work over there, so they exactly know what are they getting into it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, I mean, did you have any sort of mentors or anybody that you sort of followed when you were going through your journey into your field?
When I came to USA, so again, first was the new system here. We go by British system. So I was international student over here, did not know too many people. So my brother guided me, but mostly I have to find my own path.
Mm.
And accidentally I find out, like I said, I know I want electrical engineering. Then I graduate, and accidentally, I'm very happy I got into this field, networking, computers, those kind of field, which, and I wish I have some mentor, so it's very important, especially um, in your young age, you have some mentor who can guide you. And our kids are very lucky, we can guide them,
Yeah.
because we have seen all those things. They have this upper hand, or they're fortunate enough. And I see a lot of people, a lot of kids, they don't know what field and how to get into it. Even in medicine, it is very process oriented. If you want to get into, especially in medicine field, you have to do certain things, certain subjects, and then research other things. As for engineering, it is less, but still I think mentor helps you, guide you where to move, and it will be very important, for the kids, especially kids who don't have, don't have the mentors, either they don't have opportunities, and some kids don't have opportunities, so they find those one. I provide somehow we to them as a mentor, so we can guide them, and they can go to the right path.
Absolutely. And you ended up in networking, which is a field that's very data heavy and relies on the advancements in technology a lot. So how do you think advancements in artificial intelligence will affect your field in the future?
So I think, I have seen, from 92, 99 when I joined AT&T, So things always evolve, and especially these bigger organizations, they are very open to accept those changes. And those companies who doesn't do, they go, Kodak, they are gone
Yes.
because they did not, accept, or they did not get into those technologies. So I've seen, when you say automation, so I've seen exactly over there when my new job was as a tech support guy, running for the routers and those things. We used to do handover in writing, manually writing, updates to my next shift, because those are 24/7 operations. Uh, and those were changed, right there. After a little bit time, we used to put on the phone, updates. The client can log in and see if there's any outage, anything. That changed to the website, and slowly. So those automations were there always in this our field, and automations there. Even in our technology now, you guys have noticed, in our AT&T, customer can open a ticket, even interacting with any agent, and they can just log in, and they can give some information. The ticket will open, and in the background, if you, let's see, at your home, your internet is now working, will open totally by automation your ticket, and then they will run a little test. Automatic test will run, to check if the circuit is good or not. So these things are there, but introducing AI, it's a new game changer.
So you kind of said that you've seen technology change a lot since 1999, but you feel like when AI is coming, it's going to be a different situation, or you think it's more so like, oh, it's just more technology changes like always?
I think it will be a big change,
Big change.
like internet brought. Remember when the internet came? So that if we see in technology, we see a phone came, radio, and then right after radio, TV. That was a big change. After radio, we see this internet, and then within our lifetime, we have seen in the last 15 years these iPhone,
Hmm.
these data you have in your hand, so powerful machine which is helping and AI will bring a big change because you know I think that will be a change. Just we see like iPhone and other technology came in, and we are so dependent on those one. I was just thinking, I was traveling uh, in a hotel, a long time we used to travel. They will have these, alarm clock. They don't have anymore. If you see, even clocks has been changed to a small phone now. If you see, this
Yeah.
hardware is totally gone in our home, especially our kids. If I talk to my kids, they don't know about landline even. I still have at the home. They say, "What is land?" If you show them this phone, and we were using those dial phones,
Yeah.
about 12 years ago, you tell them, "What is this?" They cannot dial even. They see, "Oh man, this is strange."
Yeah. Never
And
mind the
you
rotary phones, where you have to go around in the circles.
Correct, correct, correct. And
Yeah.
if you show them, and these are not far away, I mean, 15, 16, 18, 20 years ago, they were right here. You dial them, and now they are gone, completely vanished, So kids, new kids, they just have a phone. People don't get any landlines anymore. So AI will be also a big change. And I think the organization who do not accept those change, they will get behind who take this thing, it will go to the next level.
Mm. So, I mean, in fields that are heavy data oriented like yours, do you think it's possible to have AI just replace the engineers? Do you think it get to that level?
Yes, certain places, I think they are keep replacing, like I told, they used to have an agent, they'll got a ticket, you have to talk to them, not the machine. And some where you call, already machine's talking if you want to check your um, account balance, it used to be phone, now the website. So they are transferring, yeah, they will take some place, which we do right now. I was talking troubleshooting, where we used to log in, run all kind of tests. Those tests will be, like running through the equipment, you run the test, but those tests will be automated and AI database oriented, they can check if you get the error, like errors at certain numbers, like say 299 errors came in. So in your database, it will tell you 299 means is,
Right.
your hardware is dead. So if hardware is, and again, data has to be very neat, which AI is working with it. Again, if it's junk, it's not going to help you. It
Right.
has to be good. So from there, so I think that will place a lot of things. And we should not be scared, again, when the cars came, the train came, the airplane came, again, the people who resisted, and there's always some resistance,
Right.
when the big changes come, But with the AI, we have to be careful, ethically, what's going to happen and how it's going to drive things, It's just a new field right now.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to Raising the Steam. If you're enjoying this conversation, make sure to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening, whether it's YouTube, your favorite podcast platform, or our website. Your subscription helps us keep bringing you insightful conversations about careers in STEM and STEAM and how people can accelerate their journeys in these fields. Don't forget to leave a review or comment to let us know what you think. Now let's get back to our guests. So, I mean, you're in a very technical space. Do you think there are any, like I know you do some sort of like almost management type of position
Correct.
as well. But for the actual technical engineers, do you think they require any sort of soft skills on top of their technical skills, or you think it's just straight technical? If they just need to know how to do the job, but the sort of in the personal skills are not as important, or do you think those are also important within the engineers?
No, I think personal skills comes, these are very important things still, And we have noticed, engineers are not good to presenting things, they are, whenever they go, and these complaints we still hear, when we go to our clients which are non-technical, but we try to explain them in technical ways to the upper management, the other. And keep in mind the business decisions, who's going to bring a new technology or something, they all come from their leadership, business leadership, either. And usually most of them are technical. So it's very important, when we explaining them. So we explain in lay term, and our personal skills, communication skills are very good, technical, which is now more important, so the people can understand the other leadership and they can bring changes in their organization.
Yeah, and I know for you, I mean, I've seen you emphasize communication in the debate club and all these things with your own kids. Is that something you were doing consciously for their futures, or just sort of, to match what was available?
Oh, yeah. So my kids, that's very important. Probably is a good question. It doesn't matter what field you go. It's medicine, it's science, art, other field. Communication skills are very important. And now it's going to be more important. When I say communication, it's including writing skills,
Right.
and what's going to happen, majority of work is done through now, not personal meeting. It is a video, and especially when the COVID happened, a lot of interaction, even business deal where people used to travel, it was communication by video link. And those where it's very important because you're not even interacting with people. And in future, the interaction way would be either via video link, video call, or because a lot of people working remote from home, so it becomes more important, these skills, where you understand the communication skills, writing skills. You're writing a lot of communication by email, and then talking. I think it's become very important in every field, and especially in our engineering field, it is important. They are very good.
Every child has sort of their natural gifts, and then they have that environment around them that's influencing them. What do you think is more important? Do you think just having the natural gifts and talents, or the environment and the influences and the things you learn, once you're being raised?
So one thing is a natural, everybody has some kind of skills we need to look. But in the same time, I think we need to guide them. This is very important. It's not if somebody wants to go art or education, then we say, they don't need any science or technology, because they're going to be art and finance major. So right now, the technical is in every field. You need to know about computer. You need to know about a little bit programming. You need to know a little bit about data analysis, little bit, if you're in other field, even in medicine, if you notice, I notice it's a lot of high tech stuff now. I mean, it becomes, so important. It's just like engineer job, some, if you see the equipment, they're working, doctors are working on it, programming, other things on it. So I think, whatever kids want, that's okay. But we just want to make sure they understand math and sciences. They have exposure to those fields, so it can help whatever field they go in, but guidance is important. I think when you're little kids, you don't know environment, you learn where you go to school, your parents. And I think emphasis should be on very important, you should not be scared from math or sciences. They need to have some exposure on with
No,
sciences.
you're right, because I interviewed Adia, my wife, and as I mentioned, is a doctor, like your wife. And one of the things we did talk about was how in medicine, especially, or including, there's everything that is included in STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, math. All of that is included within medicine, especially for someone like our wives who do some administrative work, because the math part comes from, data analysis, technology, like you mentioned, the electronic health records, then obviously the engineering with the different technologies that they have to use, the high tech technologies they have to use in the different imaging modalities and all of these things. And when I say art, I'm thinking about also the soft skills, and those are some of the things we talked about. And of course, science, the basis of what they do in biology and chemistry and all these things. So I think that I think that's a good representation of a field where all these things come together, from the soft skills, the communication, the hard sciences, the engineering, technology, everything, all is all coming together. But I think it's true that as we move forward, it will probably be more like that in every field, right?
Oh, correct. In every field, you cannot run away from the computer. Like you said, in the science, they have electronic record, they have other things. And I still remember, in certain, when we upgrade, we have different clients, do things, and you will see always a resistance, why everything is working fine, why we are, changing this thing, bringing a new system. But once people start using this one, and then after a little bit, then they realize their efficiency has been increased. Why we didn't do this thing earlier? So again, in every field, science and technology, science, those skills are very important. Up to again, you don't want to be an engineer and a doctor, I'm not saying, but you have to have this attitude to acceptance, new things gonna come. And
Yeah.
then again, problem solution things, So all those things, in engineering that teach you, basically, troubleshooting, problem,
Right.
resolution, think critical thinking. So all those things, it's important in every field. We make sure our kids, at least touch with a little bit programming, math, sciences, again, if that's not their field, but they touch it, especially data science and computer.
hmm Yeah, I just had an interview with another friend of mine who's also an engineer, and that was something we talked about. Is that with raising kids, just teaching them how to solve problems probably is the main thing you want to do, because no matter what field they go in, what they do in life, and even just everyday occurrences, just being able to problem solve, figure out problems analytically is going to be important.
Oh, exactly. I 100% agree with you. Problem solving. Again, I was an electrical engineer. I never practiced, but networking again is technical field. So I always use a math. I don't, differential equation I'm not doing over there, but that teaches me problem solving.
Right.
And that's I try to tell my kids too. We're doing differential equation, linear algebra. I'm not using those things, linear algebra over there in my field, but those problem solving skills help me when a problem happen in our network. There's an issue, how to isolate the problem, and that helps me. Hey, let's find the solution. Where's the issue? As we started the interview 30 minutes ago, we were working an issue for last 3 days. And finally, we figured out what was the root cause,
Mhm.
And there was some database issue, networking. I was working with my client. And I was very excited, hey, finally we find out something. So that was all problem solving.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've talked to any other engineers about this now that I'm thinking about it, but especially if you're working on a hard problem, difficult problem, that moment when you finally solve it is like the best feeling in the world, right?
Oh, exactly. Because I work as a incident management too, yeah, that's really majority of work too on the escalation with. And for last 3 days, we were working like at the example, this issue. And it was frustrated, you kind of get, once it's resolved, that feeling is something, you say,
It's the
oh,
best
you
feeling.
got it.
Yeah.
Because, and just have a feeling, you figure out, that was
Mhm.
the issue. And that feeling is really great, that makes you, I compare this thing, sometimes, incidents, when things happen. It's just like ER, people come and if they survive, if the people help them, in the initial stage, and it's great achievement. In our case, life is not involved, but still, systems are down and things are when they come up, resolve the issue. And it's just, you have a great feeling.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you've had a very interesting journey from living in Pakistan, coming here, experiencing new culture, adapting, building a career. If you were able to go back and talk to your younger self as a kid, the little boy Pasha, what would you advise him?
I will take the same route. I will advise him that was the right decision to come over here. But I will say the other thing in my beginning, I should my start my in college days, again I was in college. I should have find some mentors, look some people, uh, and in that field, my engineering field, which helped me guide me more, because they know more in the field, what's going on. So I think I could have done, but all of the things I will do the same way. I'm very lucky to came to USA. I'll come to USA, study my, the classes. I had a great time at college days. I have good friends, and I learn a lot over here, from professors, all those things. But again, if I have a mentorship, something uh, who guided me in America, because American culture is different, organization is different. So we are from different culture coming over here. So I have to, in one way, it was good, because I have to figure out myself a lot of
Mhm.
things. It helped me not depend on anyone. But at the same time, if you're a mentor, they can put on the right path. So
Yeah, no, I
that
mean,
helped.
actually, me as well. The same thing. If one of the things I would do differently is look for mentorship. But I wonder, as you were talking, I was wondering because as an engineer type,
Yeah.
sometimes not saying every engineer is the same, but a lot of us are people who love figuring stuff out, right? So I
Yeah,
think
that's
part of
another
it,
reason.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it could be part
Yeah.
of the reason. I think that for me specifically, it was like I was a little probably resistant to having mentorship because I'm like, no, I can figure it out, like, but that's
Yeah,
not
that,
good. I mean, now that I think back on it as an adult,
yeah.
that probably is not the most efficient way to go about
Yeah,
it.
no, if it's not the efficient way. And exactly, I think as an engineer, we think, we'll figure out. And maybe, I don't know, I did not try to find mentorship. But again, mentorship will help you, because what happened, again, in my college days, if I know the networking, I could have done some more networking stuff earlier or seen some other things, Again, I think mentorship will help you take to the next level. And we should be open to listen to other people. As engineers, sometimes we're very much, if anything happen, if I see anything at home, it's not working, I'll start working on it, let's fix it.
Right.
And even take longer time. And now it's good, you can go to YouTube and quickly find help. It's kind of good thing, you want to use also resources so you can do efficient work, and I think again, mentorship, I think it could have helped me more,
Well, Pasha, I asked you to do this interview with me because I think you're a great parent and a great guy. So I really appreciate you coming on. This has been awesome.
Oh, thank you very much, Ross, inviting me. I really had a great time. You really asked me questions, we talking 25 years ago. Things
Yeah.
happened, I have to think 30 years ago, actually. More than 30, I have to think about it to
Right.
relive my young times. So thank you very much inviting me on your program. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, and it's been great having you here. Take care. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to Raising the Steam for more useful content. Leave a review or comment to help us grow and continue bringing you valuable interviews, resources, and events. I'm your host, M. Ross. See you next time.